Hello friends, Chance here and welcome to Chance Code. In this video, we are going to deep dive into an API called Arrays.asList. If you are a Java developer, you might have already came across with this API or you might have already used it. As you all know that asList takes a variable length of argument and returns an immutable array list. Now we have to understand how it creates an immutable array list and returns it, and see what is the difference between the immutable array list returned by this and the mutable array list present in java.util package. So let's jump into the IDE and explore about this. As you can see, I have already created a test class with a main method. Now let's go ahead and create a list here. So I'll make a list 1 and I'll create an array list, and then I'll add few elements here. I'll name as Java, and two other programming languages I'll add named as Kotlin and Scala. I'll create an string array. I'll name it as slangs, and I'll initialize with the same values Java. Now what I'll do is I'll create another list of string list2 equal to dot as list, and I'll pass this langs. So now both list1 and list2 is created. Now let's go ahead and do some operation with it. So I'll do list1 dot add, I'll add C, then I'll do print all the elements. I'll do the same thing with respect to list2. I'll add the C there and I'll do the print. Now let's go ahead and run this program to see the behavior. As you can see, C got added in the list 1, but when we are trying to add the C in list 2, we got unsupported operation exception. And the reason behind that is asList is returning an immutable array list. So the list U is completely immutable and we cannot do add there. Now we are going to understand how it does it by cloning this API. So let's go ahead and create a new class first. Now I'll create a new class first and I'll name it as ArrayUtil. Now my ArrayUtil is ready, so let's go ahead and create the API for asList. So what I'll do, it's a public and static API. Since it is returning a list, so I have to have a generic parameter and then it returns an array list. So I'll do as array list of T, then I'll name it as list, and it accepts an variable length argument. So I'll do the same thing. So now this is ready. Now as we know that asList returns an immutable array list and java.util.ArrayList is a mutable one, so we cannot return this. So instead of that, we have to create an immutable array list. So for that, we will create a class which is private and static only to this ArrayUtil. So private static class ArrayList of element, and we'll try to extend it with abstract list of element. Now let's override the abstract methods. So we override get and size. Now before we go ahead and implement this get and set, let's first create a private array, private final array, and create a constructor of this array list which accepts the same array and initialize it. So array equal to array. So now we are ready with the creation of array list. So now just implement the size and make it as array dot length, and here return as array of index. So now we are ready with the implementation of array list. So from here now we have to use this array list. So instead of java.util.ArrayList, now we have to return this array list. So here what we will do is we will just say return new array list and pass this elements whichever is coming to this thing. Now array utils as list is completely done. Now let's go back to our test class and use this array util. Since these two line throws exception, we'll comment those out and we'll create another list of string list 3 equal to, and instead of arrays.asList, what I'll do, array util.asList, and I'll pass the same lengths here. Now we are ready with another list. Now let's go ahead and do the same thing what we did with list 1 and list 2. So list 3 dot add, and I'll add C here. Now let's go ahead and run the same thing and see whether list 3 is throwing the unsupported operation exception or not. And yes, it is throwing. Now the array util.asList behaves exactly the same way as arrays.asList. So far we have tested with add method. Now let's go ahead and do with some other method. So what I'll do is I'll try to do list 2.set, and I'll put in the first index and C. I'll do the same thing with respect to list 3 dot set, and I'll do first index and put the C here. Since this is throwing an exception, let's comment it out. Now let's run it and see what is the behavior. As you can see, the unsupported operation exception is only thrown because of list 3 but not because of list 2. Since we claimed that list 2 and list 3 both are immutable, now there is a question that how set operation is supported by list 2 whereas set operation is not supported by list 3. And the reason behind this is the array list returned by asList is supporting the set method, but the array list returned by asList of us is not supporting the same thing. Now let's go ahead and do the same thing in our case also. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and override the set method here, and now what I'll do is old equal to array of index and array of index equal to element. Now return old. So now set operation is also implemented by our case. Now let's go ahead and run the same application again to see what is the behavior. See, there is no exception thrown here. Now we can guarantee that list 2 and list 3 are completely of same behavior. That means arrays.aslist is completely cloned with respect to arrayutil.aslist. Now let's go ahead and compare the difference between implementation done by us and implementation done by Java. So for that, let's go to the arrays class. So what I'll do is, as we can see, this is the class of java.util package and it is arrays class. So I'll go to aslist method. Where is the aslist? Okay, this is the aslist method, and as the way we did, the same way this is also done. And the ArrayList, if you will go, See, here is a separate ArrayList class instead of in the java.util.ArrayList. And the way it is done is it implements the size few other things which we haven't covered in our video, but get method is implemented in the same way, set method is implemented in the same way. So basically the way we implemented the ArrayUtil.asList is the same way Java has implemented in the Arrays.asList. Now we can say that okay, Arrays.asList is completely cloned now. Now let's jump into the slides and try to summarize whatever we have learned so far. So Arrays.asList, and the array list returned by this API is nearly immutable. Notice that I am saying it as nearly, and the reason behind saying it nearly is the support of set operation. Since the set operation is mutating the array list whatever is returned, so we cannot say that it is a completely immutable collection. And the array list is not same as java.util.ArrayList. Instead, there is an inner class present in arrays class. Since there are two array lists, let's compare between those two. And one it is present is java.util package and another is present in java.util.arrays class. Now one is completely mutable, purely mutable, and another is partially mutable, excluding the set operation. So hope you understand something from this video. If you liked this video, please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thanks a lot for watching. Thank you very much.